Hello friends, today we are going to be working with some problem solving strategies to analyze or solve word problems. Our standard is Tennessee 5, number base 10, B7, which is to add, subtract, multiply, or divide decimals to the hundredths using concrete models or drawings, and strategies based on place value, properties of operations, and or the relationship between operations, assessing the reasonableness of answers using estimation strategies. Okay, so again, that strategy that we're going to be working on is a problem-solving strategy, analyzing word problems so that we can solve them. Why are we doing this? We're doing this so that we can solve one-step add or change word problems using equations with symbols like add, subtract, multiply, divide, representing an unknown number. So that unknown number will be our outcome. You'll know that you understand this when you're able to apply or use strategies to solve word problems in class and on your own. Some problem-solving strategies that we've used in the past and that we will continue to use is the first step is to understand the problem. Then we need to devise a plan, and then we carry out the plan, and then we're going to look back and make sure that our answer is correct. So let's look at how we can become math geniuses today. So again, over here on the right-hand side, we have the problem. Left-hand side, we have those strategies. We're going to understand the problem. Can it be broken into simpler parts? Then we're going to devise a plan and break the problem into simpler parts. What calculations do we need? Then we're going to carry out the plan, do the work. We're going to look back and check our answers, okay? So the first thing we need to do is read this problem. I would normally have a student read this problem for me if I had any student volunteers, but today we're just going to go through it and read it together. Grace borrowed money from her sister 3 times this year. She borrowed $11.95 when they were visiting friends, $14.55 to buy a gift for their mom, and $15.73 to go to a movie. How much money did Grace borrow from her sister? So the first thing we need to do is understand the problem. So let's understand this problem. And to understand this problem, we're going to use our highlighter tool. Oh, maybe. We're going to use our highlighter tool. So let's understand the problem. Can we break it into smaller parts? The question says, how much money did Grace borrow from her sister? Okay, so we need to figure that out first. How much money did Grace borrow from her sister? So we need to break this into those smaller parts. The first part we need to do is look at, what do you think? What do you think we need to do here? First, we need to figure out what all is she doing. So we know that she is borrowing money, okay? She is borrowing money. Okay. We need to know how much money she is borrowing each time. So this is where we go to our devising a plan. Okay, so here's our plan. We need to know how much money she is borrowing. So we know that one of the items that she borrowed was $11.95. We also know that she borrowed another $14.55. And finally, she borrowed $15.73. How do we know that she borrowed all this money? It tells us up here in the text that she borrowed that money. Okay, I'll put it in bold so that we see exactly where I got that information from. And then we can go back into the text if we need to see that. Okay, so that's our problem broken down. What calculations do we need? What do we need to figure out how much money she borrowed from her sister? Do we need to add? Do we need to subtract? Do we need to multiply? Or do we need to divide? Well, it says how much money did she borrow from her sister? So we have 3 totals. So we definitely need to add. So we're going to add those 3 amounts together, and that will get us our total. Does anybody want to take some time and use some whiteboard tools to add those numbers together? Remember, we start to the place value furthest to the right. And so this would be the hundredths column that we would add. Anybody? 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 Nobody? Okay. Then I will do this for us. Okay. So if we add the hundredths column, and then we add the tenths column, and then we add our ones, and then we add our tens, that is going to give us a total. I'm going to take those dollar signs out, and then I'm also going to line this up so it's going to look a bit more like a real math problem. Put my addition sign in there, and then $15.73. And that is going to give us a total of $42.23. And you guys, I always urge you to check my math, because my math by no means is perfect. I always make mistakes, and so because I make mistakes, I always do number 4. I look back and I check my work. So let's look back and check our work. Okay, so let's look back and check our work. So we have 5 and 5 is 10. 10 and 3 is 13, so there's my 3. Okay, I regrouped my 1, so now I have 9 and 1, that's 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 7 is going to be 22. Put a 2 down here in the 10th place, and then regroup up here, and I have 9, 10, and then 2 more is going to be 12, so there's my 2, and then regroup my 1 up here. So I have 1 and 1 plus 1 and 1, so 2 and 2, so that's 4. Yay, we got our work done correctly. Awesome work. Excellent, excellent work. If I was doing this in a live Class Connect, Monroe, Zoom session, I would be using my pen tool, writing this out, and working with the kids at their pace. They would be giving me feedback, helping me answer the questions, helping me calculate the sum here so that it's more student-focused, more student-centered. Even though it's the I do portion of the lesson, I still like to involve my students and have them get engaged with the I do part, because I feel that if I don't engage them in the I do portion, I often lose them. So that would be the start of my lesson, and then I would follow up with another question, and then send the kids into a breakout session for this lesson, because this is about the 3rd lesson in this unit, and give them the opportunity to work with partners and with problem-solving strategies. So there you have it. That is my lesson. I appreciate your time. Thank you.